It's about time you showed up, Fox. You're the only hope for our world.
I'll do my best. Andros won't have his way with me.
Wait, what?
Andros won't have his way with me.
My gaming habits have been kind of scattered the last 6 months or so, between revisiting Skyrim, trying out some Zelda randomizers for the first time, Minecraft, Oblivion Remastered. I'm kind of all over the place, or at least I'm focused on a few games in particular and I can't pull myself away from them. Imagine my surprise when one day I am just sitting around minding my own business. I go on my phone, I'm scrolling around, and I see that Star Fox 64 has its own unofficial PC port from the same devs that made the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask PC ports. So, I'm excited. Literally the next day that I got home, I downloaded it on my computer and was dumbfounded by the enhancements the devs have given to this old N64 game. 4K resolution, 60 frames per second, widescreen, cheats and enhancements. It really doesn't get any better than that. I mean, maybe it does, but I have trouble conceptualizing that in my mind. It even features some cheats like infinite lives and health, a setting that makes sure the wings on your ship never break, a level select, and much more. Now, if you have any interest in videos like this, or videos of this nature talking about old N64 games maybe, or just a guy who has a wide range of game tastes and just kind of makes videos and whatever he feels like making them about, maybe subscribe, but if you don't, that's fine too. First off, these unofficial PC ports of OOT, MM, and Star Fox 64 potentially skirt some legal bounds, and even if they don't, the devs say that they don't, we all know Nintendo is very protective of their own IP. Suffice to say, because I don't know what is legal or even sure where the line gets a bit murky, I'll let you figure out the setup yourself. All you really need is your own legally owned ROM of the game that's compatible, and you load it up, that's it. Easy. Otherwise, it's basically a full-blown PC port of Star Fox 64. I was honestly pretty giddy with excitement upon loading it up for the first time. Funny because I literally was just thinking about this game the other day, how I used to play it endlessly to get higher scores, try different routes, and experience all the levels at once, or not at once, but at least once. As I said, I played a little bit of the Ship of Harkinian ports for OOT and Majora's Mask, and I knew I had to download Starship once I found out about it. I gotta start by saying this because this is the most obvious thing once you see it. I started the game up and immediately all I could think is, it looks so good. The resolution, the frame rate are quick standouts for me. I just couldn't believe it when I first dropped into Corneria again after all of this time. I was rather dumbfounded by how good this game felt to play and how smoothly it ran. I also don't necessarily fancy myself the sharpest or even best gamer out there, or the most elite gamer, but I would have guessed some of my skills would have fully atrophied after all this time, but I think I did pretty well. I decided early on in this playthrough that I would go for a hard mode run. I'm reminded of how games back in the day like this added replay value and I guess even more content, so to speak. You play the games a certain way. In Star Fox 64's case, you meet certain level requirements and you either access different levels of varying difficulty or you fight different enemies and bosses. Basically, try and hit that mission accomplished screen at the end of a Star Fox 64 level every time. I think games should probably try and get back to this level of interactivity. The difficulty is not explicitly chosen in a menu. It's found in playing the game in a way that gives you that extra challenge or lack of a challenge should you want it. The coolest thing I would say when you play something like this or a remaster of sorts is that it preserves the exact integrity of the game. It takes everything you loved growing up or years ago, but that resolution and frame rate update almost makes you forget the game didn't look like this when you were playing it back then. You might feel like it did or remember it this way, but it didn't, and that, my friends, is the beauty of this and why I kind of wish Nintendo would do more ports or put more effort into their own emulation systems, because I would probably kill to have a version of this this type of port, but for Donkey Kong 64. Now, I did pretty well on my hard mode route. I didn't really struggle at all finding the alternate options, which I was surprised by how much I remembered. For Corneria, you gotta fly through these arches, and Falco was like, bruh, sick moves. And for some reason that lets him find the real target or the other target. Sector Y, you just need over 100 enemies destroyed. Aquas, beat the level, simple enough. Zonus, take out those searchlights and don't get spotted early. Sector Z, destroy the missiles heading to the Great Fox. Area 6, beat the level, simple again. And then you have two sides of Venom, and if you are already on Area 6, then you have already gotten to the more difficult side. On the harder side of Venom, I forgot how intense it can be with Starwolf in this section of the game. They have advanced ships, and the enemy AI is smarter. You have to do flips and barrel rolls and the like to get by, and even then they can really fuck you up, man. Like, Jesus. This might have been the first part where I actually started to feel like I might not make it through. I lost one of my crew in the last level, so I was one down, which meant I really had to make up the difference, or I always had at least two of the members of Starwolf pursuing me. I was eventually able to overcome and then proceed. I think I prefer the easy side of Venom, mainly because it's less of an endurance battle against a few high-skilled NPCs, and more the typical type of level you have seen through the game, with plenty of maneuvering and shooting you come to expect, but just ever so slightly more difficult and challenging. But really up to this point, everything was manageable. Even in Area 6, I did have to retry a few times, but I made it through. I resisted the urge to use cheats or anything until I got to him. Okay, this is where I lose your trust completely or you lose complete faith in me, but I have to confess something to you. I cheated towards the end. Once I got to Andross, after I defeated his first form, I got to his final brain form, and then I really struggled here, which resulted in a number of retries before I finally said, fuck it. I don't want to lose this run. So I enabled a few cheats: infinite lives, invincible, unbreakable wings, infinite bombs, infinite boost, break, hyper lasers, and even the laser range multiplier. The last one is pretty neat actually, it just lets you increase the range of your lasers. I used the cheats and then finally beat John Andross. I don't think his first name is John, but it felt right to say it here. I still love this hard mode ending for Star Fox 64, where Fox must follow his father out of the trenches, or the base if you will. I haven't played every Star Fox game, and as I understand it, there are different interpretations of this moment in 64, be it because of how it's presented or later games giving it some ambiguity, mainly in the idea that Fox's dad might still be alive. I always felt and still choose to this day see it this way, but I take it at face value that it is some kind of apparition, or better yet, a vision that came to Fox in a moment that he needed it. How else do you explain his father guiding him out and then disappearing immediately after? Fox experienced a vision of his father giving him some guidance that saved his life, and that's just how I choose to see it. Now, I didn't tell you that I used cheats that were built into Starship and then wanted to come here claiming I am the champion of Star Fox 64, or that we should submit this run for the world record books. I wanted to give you an idea of things you have available in the PC port, and also I really was just struggling and wanted to get through it, but mainly I wanted to give you an idea of what was available in the PC port. I mean, there's way more here than what I even used. You have a rapid fire mode, a self-destruct button, or a score editor. One thing I think would be interesting here is the three options here to start with the other characters already dead. I can see that creating some fun challenges for the player. Think about beating Star Fox 64 entirely solo. It's just Fox. And that's what's possible with this unofficial PC port of Star Fox 64. Graphical and performance enhancements aside, just allowing you to break the game open with different levels of cheats or options can make this infinitely more replayable than even the original game is. Something I totally even forgot to mention is that there is a level select feature, so if you enable it, you can then go and pick any of the levels to run through. A great enhancement that will really let you master levels if you so choose. Anyway, thanks for letting me yap about Starship 64, the unofficial PC port for Star Fox 64. In short, it's awesome, and I recommend checking it out. The game runs great and plays smoothly, and the addition of those cheats and other enhancements, I think will maybe have you come back to this port over others. Let me know if you enjoyed this video or hate it. I definitely will be running this game from time to time, trying out the different options, and I just like talking about things I am playing. I'll talk to you all soon. Love you. Bye. Damn, bro, you're still watching? That's kind of crazy, man. Listen, if you like videos, I'll tell you, I like videos. You should watch some of them that are on the screen, like that one on the left or the one on the right. Or someone else is on this godforsaken platform. I mean, why else are you lingering watching me pad out the video length? Are you lost? Nah, bro. You're a chill person who loves to support the homies. Anyway, I can't keep this up forever, so have a good one. You're a good friend.